One big play the Action Alerts Plus portfolio has been in all year long is the automotive recovery. Now, Stephanie, you've played this through some of the suppliers in different angles, but recently you added an OEM, Ford.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We have been playing it, to your point, of the industrials. Eaton has a little exposure, Timken has a little exposure, both in truck and auto. But we really felt that the momentum was continuing, and the big part of the auto story is Europe. So you could believe that the North America SAAR is going to stay over 15 million, which we do, but unless you had real comfort in terms of the stabilization process in Europe, which is something like 30 to 40% of many of the companies represented in this sector have exposure to, you had to get comfort around that. And it certainly does sound like, not only from Ford, but from GM and many of the part suppliers. You know, I keep a close eye on TRW. Borg Warner is definitely one of my favorites. And these companies are actually signaling that there are better times ahead. They're seeing stabilization with better times ahead.
What about the China story? I know for Ford that they're just starting to get into that market.
Yeah, so it's about 2% of total sales, so it's not really that big, but like the product cycle story, very much there, and think that they can continue to gain market share. It's going to be slow though, right? I mean, it's 2% of their business, but they've been investing heavily over the last several years. So I think you're going to start to see the rewards of that. And I think a big part of both Ford and GM really is what they're doing on the product front, how they build the cars. So they're putting more cars on fewer programs, right? So you can build the car faster, or truck. You can build it cheaper, and you can build more of them. So you have all this good going on, and it just takes a while to actually implement the strategies. So Ford was recently said that they're in the fourth inning with regards to this whole program. So I think that's a really big upside. But again, I circle back to even the auto parts companies. TRW and Borg Warner really posted very good quarters. I mean, Borg Warner has 50% total revenues in Europe, and they were able to actually post a decent quarter, and they actually raised their margin guidance. So, like Ford, really like Borg Warner too. Don't want to own two in a small fund like ours, but I think you can own both of them comfortably.
Okay, those are the auto plays to keep your eye on, Ford and Borg Warner.